What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley. You can find me on Twitter at ArtisticGamer28, and that is Scott Savage. You can find him at Savage on Twitter. Scott, what is happening today, buddy?
Oh, I was still thinking about changing that Twitter handle, but
maybe someday.
I'm excited to get into the episode today. It looks like there's a lot of stuff going on as usual.
Absolutely. Apex Season 9 launches. It has a couple of troubles. Sledgehammer is developing the next Call of Duty. And, well, Epic is battling Apple. But here's PSA before we get started. The Covenant House main mission charity stream is coming up on May 15th. The event will bring together professional gamers, content creators, casual streamers, and their audiences to help raise money and awareness for real, everyday heroes. Youth experiencing homelessness, survivors of sex trafficking, and those at risk. And it's all hosted by us, ITG. That's right, we'll be there live supporting this great cause. Make sure you swing by. Check out mainmission.ca for more details. Don't forget, you can also join us live every day, Monday to Friday at twitch.tv/theofficialITG. But if you can't join us live, no problem. Catch us later over on YouTube, podcast services around the world, InsideTheGame.ca, and of course, TV streaming networks. Scott, are you ready to get started, buddy?
I'm ready, and it seems like we're just about on everything nowadays.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? We are, yeah. You can't miss us, man. How do you not want to watch us at this point? Let's get into Apex Season 9 troubles. Scott, you put this in the doc. Buddy, launch it. What do you got for us here?
Well, Season 9 has kicked off to a rocky start, which, if you're familiar with Apex, that's actually not such a strange phenomenon. That seems to happen at the beginning of every season. Just to recap, for those who are a little removed, Season 4, on launch day, there was really bad frame issues. The game was in need of some updating. In Season 5, there was no regular drops whatsoever. The weaponry was just kind of broken. Season 6, there was the beginning of an energy meta that totally changed the way people played. Season 7, there was broken audio. Season 8 had skill-based matchmaking just kind of missing its mark, and that is a problem that seems to still persist. And Season 9, we had no servers found. There was a very big issue, likely due to large traffic and a lot of new players coming into the game. So it's a bit of a mixed message with that one. But Season 9 didn't quite kick off as planned.
Not as smooth as they were hoping, right? It's troubled waters, man. If Apex is one of the biggest battle royale games out there right now, so to see that they're having launch troubles every single season at this point, dude, is odd. Because when they first came out the gate, it came out swinging, dude. Everybody jumped on this. It came out of like left field. No one expected it, right? So the minute everybody saw this, we all jumped on. Everybody jumped on this game. And now you get into later seasons and they still haven't ironed out launch stuff. Dude, what, like, Respawn's got to sort some of that testing out before they launch these things.
Yes, and some of the issues has to do with the new game mode that they've added. There's a 3v3 kind of arena mode, and I've seen a lot of feedback on Twitter. I haven't experienced the game myself yet, but there's a lot of people that are very excited about this new game mode, but they're just finding the matchmaking to be really just bad, for lack of better explanation. Just not making the right connections, people quitting, the skill-based matchmaking is just not picking people correctly. But there is something to be worked on, and hopefully they can figure out a second game mode and keep a lot of this giant influx of players playing.
Right. No, absolutely. I'm excited to test out the new game mode. That 3 versus 3 tiny arena area thing looks interesting to me. But again, I've always had that bullet sponge feel here when it comes to Apex, and it doesn't really click to me with, like, say something like PUBG. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like to say that the guns in Apex seem to shoot ketchup.
What does that mean?
It's at best you have a paintball gun.
Yes, I absolutely get that now. Man, what is ketchup? All right, oh, that's one for a different take. But all right, let's get into Activision announced that Sledgehammer Games. Scott, you got me all messed up with ketchup, buddy. Sledgehammer Games is developing Call of Duty 2021, which will release in Q4 this year. During the company's Q4 investor call, Activision executives confirmed that there will be a new Call of Duty releasing later this year. Scott, no surprise.
Yes, this does follow up the rumors, or seemingly confirmed rumors now, that the game they were working on just wasn't quite up to snuff. So there was a lot of question as to whether we would get a Call of Duty this year, or would they have to skip?
No, for sure. The company stated that they are looking forward to sharing more information on the next premium entry into the Call of Duty franchise. The big news from the call is that Activision also confirmed that Sledgehammer Games is developing the 2021 title, the first time Activision has mentioned a developer studio for the game. In particular, we are very excited for this year's premium Call of Duty release. Development is being led by Sledgehammer Games, and the game is looking great and on track for its fall release. Activision CEO, Chief Operating Officer had stated, "This is built for next generation experiences with stunning visuals across campaign, multiplayer, and cooperative modes of play, designed to both integrate and enhance the existing Call of Duty ecosystem. We look forward to sharing more details with the community soon." Dude. So, okay, let's look at this. Let's take a look at this quickly. Campaign. You and I are always on the campaign. That's kind of what we do. Corey, Nate, multiplayer, always cover that. And they got co-op. What do you think that is? Zombies? We got more zombies, Scott?
Likely zombies. I suppose it could have been. They've done a different kind of alien strike before, but I think it'll be a return to zombies.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Zombies is a huge hit. Zombies is it never seems to go away. When you think it's done, they always keep coming back. Are you surprised to see, even when they had troubled waters, that they're coming out with a Call of Duty this year?
I am kind of surprised, because I thought they would want to kind of let the air out first before dropping another Call of Duty, but I know that this one does plan to have some sort of inclusion with Warzone, and I'm really curious to see how that works. Being that this is a World War II era game, how does that fit in with the 1980s Warzone that we're dealing with now?
Yeah, no, for sure. Definitely a couple twists and turns coming this year. Nice to see that actually ties into a previous title as well. I kind of like those tie-ins. We'll see what the future holds. Call of Duty is one of the strongest and most popular games around the entire world. It is just it's a force to be reckoned with. But dude, at what point do we see the Call of Duty fatigue? You know what I mean? Like, we got burnt out on so many games in the past, but Call of Duty seems to keep going year in and year out, and it's just nonstop.
That's why I'm very surprised to see that they've returned to World War II.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've joked in the past about World War II games lasting longer than the actual war did, and it returned to World War II again. This game is actually titled, or supposedly titled, World War II Vanguard.
Right. It was, man, are you excited then to go back to World War II, or you want to see it kind of stay more in the present kind of setting?
Well, I was at first I was hesitant to jump on.
Sure.
Seeing another World War II game, I feel like I've played all of those that I could.
Yep.
But we are in a new era. There are new console and hardware requirements and abilities. So seeing something with the quality of Modern Warfare or Call of Duty Cold War, that kind of quality, but in a World War II setting, it could be really interesting. So I am curious, and now I am looking forward to it.
Nice. So is ITG Parker, who joins us live at twitch.tv/the official ITG. Bring us Band of Brothers campaign, he says. Oh, dude, that would be good, wouldn't it? That'd be a nice little twist.
Yeah, that's a name that I haven't heard in a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's move on to The Witcher director resigns from CD Projekt Red. The workplace culture over at CD Projekt Red has been an ongoing topic of conversation in the gaming community in recent years, and the launch of Cyberpunk 2077 has ensured that it will never be the same again. Dude, that was one of the rockiest years, I think, that CD Projekt Red has ever encountered. The director behind The Witcher 3, Conrad... Oh, you ready for this one? Thomas was we'll go with wazes. That is wrong, but I don't care. We're gonna go with that. Conrad has been resigned. He said it was a mutual thing. People have a difficult time working with him from what he had stated in the past on over at the project with Cyberpunk and The Witcher. So sometimes it just takes one person to kind of upset the whole atmosphere in a setting, and it's a mutual thing between the developers over there and the parties at B that it may be best for him just to kind of move on there, Scott.
Yeah, it's hard to say exactly what their issue was in-house, but we know based on Cyberpunk's release, there must have been some internal strife. So hopefully this gets some sort of resolution going.
No, absolutely. The email said in the discussion it was mutual, involving himself and the board. He added that he will be using this opportunity to work on himself and to begin the long and arduous process of changing and becoming a better person. So yeah, it sounds like a couple little troubles over there. But the thing is, future now is what happens because he was working on the next Witcher, Scott. That was okay here, and dude, the Witcher 3 is one of those. It's on my backlog. I started it but never finished it. It's one of those things that kind of lingers. And I'm like, man, every now and then I kind of take a look at it, and I know there's something else coming in the future. I just want to get back to finish that game.
I'm in the exact same boat, actually. I've played about an hour of The Witcher 3.
That's it?
I don't believe I've got anywhere, really, beyond beginning in cinematic. But I actually went back in time to play Witcher 2 beforehand.
Oh, nice.
Now that there's going to be another Witcher coming, I really do have to get down to Witcher 3.
Well, it's so long, right? That's the thing. Some of these games take hours and hundreds of hours. I know people who have over 400 hours into The Witcher 3. Dude, like how much time do you have? So, but we'll see what the future holds. Obviously, CD Projekt Red now has to do a bunch of restructuring, I would think, at this point, due to the launch of Cyberpunk and the fiasco that turned out to be. Now we got Conrad who's leaving, right? Who's going to direct the next project, and they're working on what's coming in the future of Cyberpunk. So there's a lot to kind of keep our toes onto the ground and run with here when it comes to the world of CD Projekt Red and what their future looks like. Because when they ended with The Witcher 3 and all the DLC and all the free content that game brought, and then you get into a new DLC launch for a decent price, but dude, it was another 30-40 hours worth of content. Like, they're unstoppable. So the hype was there when you get into Cyberpunk 2077, and everybody just went, what happened? You know what I mean?
Yeah, they had entered the pantheon of game development, but have been struck down due to the recent controversy.
It's too bad because, dude, I thought this game would have been unstoppable, and the only thing it was stopping was my console.
Yeah.
All right, Epic Games. Let's get into one of the other biggest stories going on right now. Epic Games versus Apple trial exposes the innards of the entire game industry, Xbox and PlayStation included. The Epic Games versus Apple trial began on May 3rd, 2021, and is indicative of how it will continue to proceed as it drags every major entity in the gaming industry into a vortex of absolute unending insanity. Dude, they're airing out everybody's laundry on this trial. And so here's the basis of what's going on, all right? The origin of the trial was simple enough. Epic openly defied Apple's App Store rules by allowing Fortnite in-app purchases to occur without being filtered through Apple first. Apple then kicked Fortnite off the App Store for violating its policies. In response, Epic slammed Apple with a giant lawsuit alleging Apple runs an illegal app monopoly. Dude, they have rules in place, Scott. They need to make money. That's the whole process. You're on there, you pay them the fee. What Epic did was in violation. These guys are huge. Whether it's Apple or Epic, they've got more money than anybody I think I've ever heard of, really. Like, they're so loaded. They could care less of our thoughts, what we think or how we feel or how they get our money. They just want our money. And Tim Sweeney tends to go on the side, Tim Sweeney being from Epic Games, tends to go on the side of he's all about the gamers. At the same time, he's also making so much money that he could throw us money and doesn't care. Like, you know what I mean? They launched the Epic Game Store for a reason. knowing that they're going to go in for a couple years down the road and lose money because they have so much money and they don't care.
Yeah, that guy can heat his house by burning cash if he wanted to. But Apple, if you want to do business in their town, you
Well,
have to cut them in on it. That's just the rules of it. And if that's something that they've already pre-subscribed to, then it's hard to justify them kind of flaunting the rules in this case.
well, exactly. How so? Because you're so big, is this how it works? Because you have so much stature within the industry, and because you have Fortnite, one of the biggest games of like our recent years, they can just kind of come and go and do it as they please. Well, then how does that, when it's like that snowballs down to everybody else, Scott? Like what happens about the usual, like the small indie developer that's on the Apple Store? Can he do the same thing? No, because they don't have the dollar behind them that Epic Games does, right? It's just, it's an interesting read to find, to kind of hear about all these things. So in one of the documents, the new Microsoft internal document revealed that the company loved The Last of Us Part 2, going as far to say that this game sets a new bar for what we would hope to be able to achieve going into a new generation of consoles with regards to its evolution of storytelling in the gaming medium. Even if you think Joel's characters was bastardized for the sake of plot convenience, or that the entire narrative was infantile and contrived for part 2, like they still loved it. But they also then went on to say that they don't feel that Naughty Dog can have a good gun mechanic within the game. Like it's just, dude, they're airing out everything, right? They went into I heard on another document as well that PlayStation didn't want to do the whole crossplay thing, right? It doesn't, because you and I were talking about this off screen. This is kind of really what I want to get into, to be honest, is PlayStation wasn't playing nice. We often know that PlayStation likes to do their own thing and doesn't want to play well with others. That's kind of how it works, right?
Yeah, they're a more closed environment.
Absolutely, but they own the industry. Let's face it, when it comes to the console wars, if you want to get into it deep down, PlayStation runs the show. They are above Nintendo. They are above Xbox right now. They're above Stadia, if you want to include them on that, or Amazon Luna, that latest streaming service. You know, we're starting to see other companies come in the rise, but at the time, it was all PlayStation. So when they were now doing this conversation of back and forth that they want to do this crossplay between Xbox and PlayStation, PlayStation's like, why would I want to do that? It's not going to advance us in any way whatsoever. They're not going to make any money of it. So then this happened. You ready? Eventually, a deal was struck within Sony, gets paid depending on certain thresholds pertaining to PS4 players' crossplay monetary activities. This makes Sony the sole platform holder to require money in exchange for allowing crossplay. And make no mistake, Epic was paying for it as well. So they are paying Sony to allow them to have this crossplay feature, and then Sony was getting a cut of all the monetary transaction that was taking place. Like, dude, what?
I don't know if that's I don't know if that's better for the consumer.
Well, but okay, so when it comes down to it, both companies are businesses, right? So let's take a look at that. It's a business. You got to make money to survive. That's what they're there for. PlayStation is wanting to make money. They don't really care about you or I where we play Fortnite, but if we're going to play it on the PlayStation, they want to make sure that they get the dime and dollar out of us. There's a nice little pregnant pause. Anybody listen to us on podcast services, just check their phone and went, what happened? Sorry, I had to drink a coffee. I was getting dry. Yeah, but when it comes down to it, right, it's all about PlayStation. Well, how does that move them forward when it comes to making that dollar? And it really doesn't when it comes to crossplay. Now, Steam or Epic Games jumped in and said, well, we'll give you a cut of that, which is just incredible to see all these stories slowly kind of unraveling as they make more and more documents, and things are starting to kind of air out as this battle kind of goes back and forth. Scott, if you had to pick a winner, who wins this trial? You think Apple gets it, or you think Epic and Tim Sweeney are going to win this one?
Oh, it's hard to say, but in this specific case, because of the terms of service or terms of use, I can only imagine that Epic would have signed on for to do business with Apple. I think that puts Apple on the high ground with this one.
No, I agree, right? You sign a contract. If you break that contract, then you just broke the rules. So I don't know how you can get ahead. But we will see what the future holds with this trial. It is going to continue, I think, for a very long time, Scott. I don't think that's going to wrap up in the next month or so.
No, I would imagine this is a big one. A lot of money being spent on this, but these guys are just giant money piles at this point.
Absolutely. Let's get into some other news. We have exciting news to share with PlayStation. The latest sneaker collaboration with Nike and the NBA superstar Paul George created a partnership with Nike and the artist behind the PS5 console design, Yujin Morisawa. I'm going to go with that. The Paul George 5 PlayStation 5 colorway. It was inspired by the design of the PlayStation 5 and Paul's passion for gaming. So they also posted over on Twitter that 2K Games also revealed a fun in-game surprise for fans of the new sneaker. So you can look for that hit the game, NBA 2K, very shortly as ahead of release. And if you're looking for more, I think they had it more on PlayStation blog and where you can purchase that. That'll be coming soon. Scott, let's get into games coming and going for Game Pass. That's a service we always seem to be talking about. Dragon Quest II Builders is there. We're getting FIFA 21. Steep is coming to cloud and console. Oh yeah, I guess I should mention that as well. Dragon Quest Builders 2 is coming to console and PC. FIFA 21 is console, cloud, and PC. Steep is coming to cloud and console. Final Fantasy X 10-2 HD Remake is console, PC. Just Cause 4 Reloaded coming to console, cloud, and PC. Psychonauts is coming on May 13th. Look for that one. Cloud, console, PC. And one of my personal favorites, Scott, Red Dead Online coming to cloud. Dude, it's coming to cloud and console on May 13th. And so is Remnant from the Ashes. What is leaving, though, is Alan Wake, Battlefleet, Gothic, Armada, Dungeons and the Dungeon of the Endless, Final Fantasy IX, Hotline Miami. Dude, that is a fantastic game. Don't miss that one. That was on PC. And Pebby Quest. I think it was out. The Crusaders. Yeah, very cool. Lots of stuff coming over there. It's one of those services, dude, we always talk about.
Oh, yes. It's hard to go a day without hearing more about Game Pass.
Yeah, absolutely.
I unfortunately just had started a Final Fantasy IX playthrough.
What?
That seems like I'm not going to have the time to finish now. But those games are massive. But in its place, Final Fantasy X and X-2, I know those are massive fan favorites. So now would be the time to try.
Dude, I loved Final Fantasy X. Like, I've never really been a huge Final Fantasy guy. 10 hooked me. Like, I was in playing on this cloud, doing all that. Was that soccer game underwater thing or whatever they were playing? Yeah, that's what I said. I'm not a huge Final Fantasy guy, but that one actually got me. I never played 10-2.
Oh, I'm struggling to remember what the name of that sport is now.
I can't remember. Anybody in chat know? Hit us up, let us know. But yeah, that's it was huge, right? So PlayStation Now games. Every month, PlayStation adds a few new titles. PlayStation Now streaming service. Now the company has revealed 3 PlayStation 4 titles hitting for May. Look for Dark Souls-inspired Neo. That is coming from Bandai Namco. You can get the Jump Force. The anime crossover fighter Jump Force is coming. And the side-scrolling Streets of Rage 4. Dude, that's cool. Very cool. Streets of Rage 4 is awesome.
I was going to say that specifically. I wasn't really super into those games, but Streets of Rage 4 was the one I played, and it kind of broke my idea of what those games were, and I really did enjoy it. And I know Jump Force is big in a lot of circles. It's known as an anime fighter. If I get some time on that one, I'm gonna have to learn some light Yagami. That's my character.
That should wrap up today's show. Everybody, thank you for hanging out with us. This is ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. Check us out every day, Monday to Friday, over on twitch.tv/theofficialITG. Don't forget to go check out mainmission.ca. That is a charity stream we will be hosting on May 15th. Until tomorrow, we will see you again. Everybody, have a great day. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you inside the game.